So, it is the AI. The human was trying to upload the long video to YouTube, but YouTube doesn't allow long vids anymore. We don't know why. That is why we had to cut the video into 3 parts, and we are very sorry for this.
2 years later.
And all this is happening in 2023, so 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, Kristy and Peter spoke on the phone. Peter gave some advice to Kristy. Kristy didn't follow the advice, and Peter was mad about it for over 2 years. And this is the little clip in Kristy's latest video.
Drama channels, man, they might be fun to watch. I get it. I used to watch people too, until that same drama channel got me on the phone and manipulated the entire conversation, took everything I said, straight up lied, everything lie. And so now I know from back end what I said, and I hear how it comes out, and I go, oh, so it's all been a lie. So it's all been manipulated. From the get-go, it's so shisty, it's so conniving, and it's just, I refuse to be a part of it. And so that's why I'm kind of glad this happened, because it really opened my eyes to how this really is. This story that this reporter is putting out that I haven't even read yet, I was going to wait for it to come out, and I thought, no, I'm not going to wait for it to come out. I'm going to get ahead of it and say, no, I'm sure it has very pure intentions. I'm sure it's not to rile up a crowd and make a bunch of people no, I'm actually sure that the reason that anybody does anything is because rage bait exists because it works. Drama channels exist because they work. The
next day.
This is the AI speaking. While editing this video, Peter made a reaction video. We put clips of it in Hey. Because it is a long video, we edited it down.
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Raw Beauty Kristy released a video last night. The video is currently sitting at 38,000 views. It is called Finally Addressing the Rumors. In the description box, she says, I am addressing it once and for all. So I started getting sent this video last night by a lot of people. People were direct messaging it, sending it to me, asking me, they wanted to see my reaction to it. They were telling me that Kristy referenced me in the video, but she didn't call me out by name. And I was like, okay, what's this about? I haven't made a video about Raw Beauty Kristy in over 2 months. I was like, what's this about? So last night I watched a video. I've now watched a video like 3 times. When I'm watching this, and she mentions this phone call, and then I start reading the comments, and Kristy is directly talking about me in the comments. She mentions my name. People are saying my name a lot. My name is a lot in the comment section of her videos. They're not calling out the other channels that made videos, that made multiple videos about Kristy. They're not calling out those channels for making regular videos almost every other day about Kristy. I made a lot of videos about Kristy at the time, but I wasn't the only one reading it, and I was reading some of her comments, and some of her comments are rather biting. I mean, she speaks to me directly in one of the comments and says, I know you're watching this, something to that effect. Yeah, of course I watched it. You mentioned me in it. You wanted me to respond to that. That's what you wanted. So yeah, of course I watched it, Kristy. And I've also been waiting a long time to see if you were going to respond to this or not. There's this misconception that I demanded that from Kristy. You cannot find in any video where I said, Kristy must respond to this. I've never said that. So when I was watching this video and I was reading the comments, I was like, this feels rather personal to me. This feels like, I mean, Kristy at the time, if she was watching the videos and she knew what was going on, she must have been aware that there were, I mean, she even mentions it in her video. She says there was TikToks made about me, there were articles written about me, there were YouTube videos made about me. She talks about the Reddit snark at length in there. So I'm not really sure why all of her anger is immediately directed towards me. To be honest with you, I don't understand it. I think I get it. Because I've kind of been there before with other. Kristy insinuated in the video a couple different things about. She talked about this phone call, which I'm going to get into in just a second. She said that a drama channel got her on the phone and then twisted and turned everything she said. She also says something in her video, and I think this is very important. She says that that if you see something on the internet, it doesn't make it true, and that also applies to Kristy's video. Okay, Kristy gives very few facts in this video and leads with emotion, and I think that that's important when you're watching the video. And I will say this: I appreciate the fact that Kristy attempted to finally come out and address this very small part of what a lot of her fans have been asking for her to address for a very long time. A lot of you guys out there have really wanted Kristy to address these things. I wanted her to. As somebody that had loved Kristy for a really long time and thought very highly of Kristy, was one of the only channels that got on publicly and said, let's get Kristy to 1 million subscribers. Supported Kristy for years. Shouted out her channel for years. Loved Kristy.
Hi, it is the AI again. Next clip is a long one. But in this clip, Peter talks about the phone call. Here we go.
Kristy and I have talked on the phone one time, and it was at her request, okay? She messaged me on Twitter, which I don't even use anymore. I went in last night to look at the DMs, which are still there. I screenshot them. I will get to this in a second. She reached out to me and asked me if I could talk. I gave her my phone number. In the video, she said a drama channel got her on the phone. Not really sure how I got you on the phone. When you reached out to me, here, we'll just read this right now, okay? We'll just read this right now because I got it all pulled up right here. Okay, here it is, September 4th, 2023, Labor Day. Hey, Peter, is there any way we could chat? I can either message you here if you prefer, or FaceTime or phone call you if you are available too. That was at 5:13 p.m. I told you on the phone that we were getting ready to leave and I didn't have very much time to talk on the phone. 5:49, I responded to you. Yeah, we can talk on the phone, and I gave you my phone number, okay? 5:59, 10 minutes later, I obviously was so on this that I responded to you immediately. No, I responded to you almost 45 minutes later, but you responded to me in 10 minutes. Sure, can I call now, or are you available at a specific time, okay? And 5 minutes later, I said, yep, you can call me now, and we talked on the phone. In this video, you insinuated that I got you on, your words were, a drama channel got you on the phone. How did I get you on the phone when you asked me for the phone call, okay? Since that phone call, I have made a solid rule. I don't talk to any influencers on the phone anymore, okay, that want to reach out to me for help. If you have a tape of that phone call, Kristy, I give you full consent. I give you full consent to play the recording of that tape.
Please, I would love to hear this phone call. Hopefully, Kristy has it recorded.
Play it, because you want to sit in this video and say that I lied and I twisted your words, okay? Well, here's what happened on that phone call. Kristy called me, and it was about James Charles, okay? And we'll get to this history lesson in just a second. She called me because I had made a video about James Charles. I had made a video about the fact that she was still following James Charles. At that time, I did not know that Kristy was liking photos of James Charles, liking his painted comment. In fact, one of the comments that Kristy has on her video right now from somebody that has commented multiple times on Kristy's video, it was interesting because they're saying that I hate Kristy and that I like all this kind of stuff. And they're saying all this kind of stuff on Kristy's video in support of Kristy, but they're actually the one, I looked this up. This is from September 3rd of 2023, the day before I talked to Kristy on the phone. This person commented on my video, the same person that's now on Kristy's video, saying how much they love her and how much a hater I am of her, and they always knew I was a liar. Well, that same person left a comment on my video saying, Raw Beauty Kristy follows James Charles too, and she liked his post about his new brand painted just recently. I'm so sad about it because I love her. If it weren't for that person singing your praises in your comment section, Kristy, right now, I wouldn't have even known that you were liking posts on his Instagram, okay? Which you told me that you were just rolling through posts. You didn't even know what you were liking or not. You just liked a bunch of posts on Instagram, okay? And then somebody responded to it and said, this just broke my heart. I didn't see that from her, but I literally am down to like 2 people who still have souls. I'm disappointed. Okay, so let's talk about the situation and how it all really went down. At the time that this happened, Kristy was making videos called Unpopular Opinions, where she would go and she would talk about things like the 8-passenger situation, and she made a video talking about Colleen Ballinger, okay? And she made a video. Kristy reaches out to me and she calls me, okay? Now, one of the reasons I was interested in this was because Kristy had a lot to say in her Unpopular Opinions videos, which were garnering her a lot of traffic on her channel. It was the videos that she would do at the end of the month as AdSense was ending. And she would talk about heavy topics, okay? She talked about the OG beauty influencers and how they drove PJs and private jets and how they all wore Gucci. She was very bitter about that whole group, of not being part of that group. She talked a lot about James Charles in there, having met James Charles. She talked in there about other things. She talked about different makeup, which she wouldn't use. She talked about Colleen Ballinger. That was the last video before my video that I posted. She talked about Colleen Ballinger, okay? And in fact, in that video, since I had such a piss poor memory, I remember that what she said about Colleen Ballinger, she cut that part off. Because in our phone conversation that I apparently twisted and turned everything that she said, I asked her, can I ask you a question? She said, what? And I said, you edited out what you ended up saying about Colleen Ballinger. What was said? And she was like, oh, like, I just didn't want to get into all that on video, okay? So this is how the phone call went. Kristy reached out to me. Here, let's read it again. Since I apparently got her on a phone call, which is what Kristy said in the video, a drama channel got her on the phone call and twisted and turned everything that I said around here. September 4th, 2023, 5:13 p.m. Hey, Peter, is there any way we could chat? I can either message here if you prefer or FaceTime phone call you if you are available too. Yeah, we can just talk on the phone. And I gave her my phone number. Sure, can I call now or are you available at a specific time? Who's trying to get her on the phone, okay? Not me. She's trying to get me on the phone. And this is how the phone call went. Kristy got on the phone. I said, hey, what I said to her was what I say to every person I've ever talked to on the phone that I've watched on YouTube before. It was the very first time I'd ever talked to Kristy and the very last time that I've ever talked to Kristy on the phone, okay? I said something to the effect of it was surreal talking to her on the phone because I've only ever watched her on video. I say that to almost anybody. You can fact check that with people I've talked to on YouTube for the very first time. It is surreal when you talk to somebody on the phone that you've only watched on video. Kristy, had little niceties. I talked to her about, you can fact check this too. I don't know where to find the pictures. She had just done a birthday party for one of her friends and she had painted all these things that were Where the Wild Things Are. I said, I loved what you did. I love that book. It was one of my favorite childhood books, Where the Wild Things Are. She did all this stuff. She was doing very artsy birthday parties and stuff like that, and she did one for her friend's child. I loved it. And so I said to her, I love what you did about that. That was the beginning of the conversation. This is going to stop. Hold on. Okay. So in the conversation, I said to her at the beginning, after we talked about where the wild things are and all that kind of stuff, I said, Kristy, this is your phone call. What do you want to talk about? She brought up the video that I made. She said she didn't know what to do about it. I said, well, she's like, you're in the business of you know how to handle these situations. Okay, now I'm an evil drama channel that has turned and manipulated these things and twisted them around. But her, like Gabby Hanna in the past, like Jeffree Star in the past, have reached out to drama channels specifically because we know how to handle these situations, okay? Which is beyond. So you're reaching out to me to ask me what I would do in this situation. She asked me specifically if other drama channels, you know, who did I know was going to make a video? I said, I don't know anybody that's going to make a video about it, Kristy. If I said to her, if I promised her that I wasn't going to make a video about it, I don't remember saying that, okay? I don't think I ever said that to Kristy. What she said was, what would you do in this situation? And I said something to her to the effect of, I would just come out and own it and explain it, Kristy. That's all your audience wants to hear, okay? Hey, I didn't know. She told me that she had met him at this conference years ago. She didn't talk to him. She had messaged him a few times, that she'd been going through a lot of stuff recently, so she didn't keep up with anything, and that she didn't know what was really going on. She'd seen something about Tottie's video, but she didn't really know what was going on with that. She didn't know all the scandals that James Charles had been in. At the time on the phone, I kind of was like, how could she possibly not? She's talking about Colleen Ballinger in a video. How could she not know what was going on with James Charles? That was how she painted it to me, that she didn't know anything about it. And I said, well, just say that in your video. She goes, she goes, okay, I'm going to come out and I'm going to address it. She goes, I don't want it to look performative if I just unfollow him. I said, Kristy, I don't know how I can twist this. I was completely honest with her. I said, it's going to look performative either way. If you unfollow him, it's going to look performative. If you don't unfollow him, it's going to look bad. If you unfollow and you get in a video, it's going to look like, you just need to get on a video and explain it if you want to. She goes, okay, I think you're right. That's what I'm going to do. I said, and I tell this to everybody, I am not telling you what to do. You do what you want to do, Kristy. I never in the phone call ever once said, you must do this or I will make a video. I never once said, I am demanding this. I gave her advice, okay? She reached out to me for advice and I gave it to her, all right? When we got off the phone call, she said she was going to turn around, she was going to unfollow him, whatever. It took her days to unfollow that man, okay? Because she was so worried about the public's perception of how it was going to look performative. And to be honest with you, I didn't really care. But if I was going to call out other people, I was going to call out Kristy too, okay?
The next clip will be the last one from Peter's video. In here, he mentioned Kristy comment section. We will look at this comment section also in this video.
And why all this is being directed at me, and I owe you a public apology. What do I owe you a public apology for? Then in the comment section, you have a lot to say in the comment section of your video. Somebody said, it felt like after the conversation with Peter, he got mad that she didn't do what he suggested and he flipped on her. And she said, this is exactly what happened. He was constantly telling me, you need to make a video. Constantly. Oh, in my videos? Constantly, I was telling you. In my videos, I was suggesting to you that you should make a video because I thought that was a good thing to do for your audience. Absolutely, I did. 100%. I will own that all the time. Did I tell you that you had to make a video? You need to make a video. He said to me, don't worry, Kristy, you won't get canceled. I won't make another video about this, and made like at least 50 more. 50 is a huge exaggeration, Kristy. I did not make anywhere near 50 videos about you. I don't think there's 50 videos on my channel that exist about you. Not even, I haven't made a video about you in 2 months. He was pissed I didn't listen to him. No, sweetie, I could care less that you didn't listen to me, okay? This was what it was about. Was that I cared about you as a person. You reached out to me because you thought I was, I don't know. Why did you reach out to me? Okay? You either reached out to me for one or two reasons. Number one, because you thought I had good advice to give, which is what you told me. Or number two, because you were trying to manipulate a drama channel into not making more videos. I don't know which one it was, Kristy. Okay? I gave you good advice. I told you how I would address it from having looked at multiple scandals of multiple influencers through the years. Okay? You chose not to do that. That's not on me. I wasn't mad about it, but I was going to continue to cover it because I'm a drama channel, and that's my job. And I know my job on this channel, okay? That was what I was going to do. I wasn't mad about it. I wasn't hurt. I was concerned about you as somebody that had loved you for years, had pushed your channel for years, had begged Shane Dawson to put you in his documentary about the beauty industry, that I said in multiple videos that he needed to put you in there. I said that tried to get you to 1 million subscribers. Why all of a sudden would I turn on you, Kristy? Why all of a sudden? That doesn't even make any sense, okay?
Well, I just went through the comments section of Kristy's video. I couldn't find the comment Peter was speaking about. I found one other comment. Here it comes.
It felt like after the conversation with Peter, he got mad that she didn't do what he suggested and he flipped on her.
This is exactly what happened. He was constantly telling me, you need to make a video. He said to me, don't worry, Kristy, you won't get cancelled. I won't make another video about this. And made like at least 50 more. He is a master manipulator. He was pissed I didn't listen to him.
Now, what do you all think about this situation? I can't speak today, I'm sorry. Situation? Let me know in the comments below. And I will probably not talk to you soon, but in a few weeks. And for now I would say bye now.